Am I the asshole for going to a different hotel during my vacation with my husband? It our first real vacation since 2020 and my first with just my husband and in over 10 years. Our daughter Annie, 17, was left home alone. For some reason recently Annie can do no right in hubby's eyes. Dress, music, chores. He has deemed her irresponsible. It farthest from the truth. She has a summer job and makes good grades. She's in fact kinda a hermit for her age. Unknown to me, my husband set the hot water heater to refill only once a day while we are gone. Annie did some dishes and laundry. She took a shower and the water was cold. She was upset and thought it broke and called us panicking. My husband yelled into her for wasting our hot water and telling her how irresponsible she was, enough to make her cry. I got madder than I ever have in this marriage and basically said most parents would love to have a 17-year-old like Annie. We argued and screamed all night, so next day I left the resort to a little hotel down the street. My husband has been trying to call me and I told Annie to block her father and don't pay attention to him. My husband is mad about the wasted money on this vacation, but I can't stand to even look at him over an argument over something so stupid and preventable. Your husband dislikes your daughter, so much so that he manipulated a situation so that he could have an excuse to bully her. This is deeply toxic and obsessive behavior. You need to truly consider whether you are enabling this abuse by staying with him and giving him an avenue for the ongoing verbal abuse of your child. Not the asshole for your behavior here, thanks for sticking up for an innocent kid. Not the asshole. Let me get this straight. Your husband is mad because the daughter who was home alone washed dishes, did laundry, and took a shower. My mom would have jumped up and down if I washed dishes and did laundry as a 17-year-old home alone. That's fucking nuts. You're absolutely not the asshole. Your daughter seems awesome and your husband needs help, or something. You are awesome for standing up for your daughter like that. Not the asshole. Your husband sees your daughter as unworthy of even having hot water, less than. This can't be the only instance he's treated her awfully. It's time to protect your daughter and put your foot down. He sees nothing wrong with his behavior. Either he needs therapy or you need to do more than leave him just for the vacation. Not the asshole, but you need to realize that your husband is abusive. You say your daughter is a hermit, and I think I know the reason why, and you need to do more for your daughter. Either he improves, or you need to leave him to protect your daughter. The fact that this has gone on for so long makes you close the being the awe. Edit. My wording was bad. This is a recent development, but this should have been dealt with ASAP. Not the asshole. There's gotta be more going on here if, like you're saying, it's out of the blue. Time to go into detective mode. Try talking to Annie to pinpoint something? Look through phones? Something's weird. The hot water thing is just spiteful. Family therapy at the least. Info. Was this a recent change? How long has this been going on, or gas he always been this way? What's his relationship like with his daughter? Am I the asshole for telling my friends and partner they're not the most important aspect of my life? So I, 18 female, recently got an amazing opportunity to study abroad and I couldn't be happier or more grateful for it. I would be moving to an entirely different continent and I'll be gone pretty much the rest of my life. Meaning I want to make a life abroad and not get back to my country once I finish my degree. My family knows this and it's completely okay with it, however my friends and partner didn't seem so thrilled. They said it could be dangerous to go on my own and that I'm practically burning bridges with them by getting to the other side of the world. At first I brushed it off as a completely justified concern and assured them we could still be friends and promised to visit often. I also told my partner that I understood having a virtual relationship would be tough and not for everyone, and told him I would totally understand if he needed time to think about it or just break it up and remain friends. But it was getting annoying, especially with my partner. He said I wasn't even giving a chance to the life I could have with him in our home country and that I wasn't really thinking of everyone that loved me and didn't want me gone. My friends supported him and ganged up on me the past week. I was fed up at that point and told them they were a far cry from being the most important thing of my life and that this is the future I've always imagined for myself. After that everyone got mad at me and my partner told me to never contact him again. The rest of my friends have been ghosting me. I know the phrasing wasn't the best and they have a right to think I'm insensitive and to be mad at me. I also know an apology is in order for the way I expressed myself, but I also think I did what was best for myself and honestly what I said was the complete truth. My mom thinks I should just board the plane and never spare them another thought, but some of my cousins think I went too far and I was a big ass. Edit. Hi. First I'd like to thank you all for your kind and encouraging messages. I really appreciate your kindness and advices. I'd like to thank you personally, but there's tons of comments. I'd also like to clarify everyone knew I was going to leave one way or another. It was all I talked about when the topic of plans for the future popped. My ex knew this too, as we were close friends before being together, but we both avoided the topic and just focused on the moment and seeing how our relationship would develop. I admit it wasn't the most mature thing to do, but being 15 there wasn't really much room for rationality. Finally, my decision is final. Only divine intervention would stop me for doing this. I was just conflicted to whether or not I should apologize. I agree with your mom. If they cared for you, they would want the best for you to be happy, not want to hold you back. NTA. Not the asshole. I don't even talk to the people who were my friends at 18. Go and don't look back. If they were your real friends they'd tell you the same. Not the asshole. Friends come and go. So do boyfriends. While, yes, studying abroad on your own can be dangerous, it's an opportunity that doesn't show up easily. Could you have worded it a bit more nicely? Sure. But they were trying to hold you back, and that's not cool. It's better to crash and burn following a dream than playing it safe and be tormented by what could have been. Godspeed and be safe while you make your life abroad. Not the asshole. Normally, those words you used would make you the but you only said that because they ganged up on you. And their actions were totally unacceptable for you. My friends would all have been sad to see me go, but supportive and understanding. None of them would be trying to guilt me into staying when I have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pursue studies in my chosen field. I'm sorry your friends and partner were all selfish jerks, but I guess it's better that you found out earlier rather than later. Your mum is right. You said some harsh things when they pushed you to the breaking point, but so what? People who love you shouldn't hold you back out of selfishness. I promise you, all of them would take up their own dream opportunity in a heartbeat, and to be honest, a lot of this is probably about unacknowledged jealousy and resentment. Which is very natural. Of course your ex would like to hear, "You're such an amazing man that I've turned down a lifetime opportunity to you." Heart eyes, and his ego is very naturally dented by learning that he isn't the center of your universe. Not your problem. You were going to break up anyway because, 18. Just like you were going to drift apart from your childhood friends very soon anyway. Go forth and make your wonderful life, you rockstar. I was going to go with a not, but the blow-up seemed to go a bit far, and instead it is an esh. Your friends should have been supporting you on your journey, so boo on them. But when they were telling you how special you were to them by asking you to think about staying, when you told them they were a far cry from important to you, you told them they were kind of worthless to you. So that was mean, and that earned you the asshole part of the esh. Of course, still get on that plane. But you should tell them you do love and care for them and will miss them. Things were stressful. Sorry about the blow-up, etc. Am I the asshole for calling the cops on my fiance's mom? So wild situation, but I feel like I need a fair judgment. So I've, 27M, have been dating Regan, 27F, for 2 years and have been engaged the past 6 months. When we first started dating I realized that Regan didn't have the closest relationship with her parents, especially her mom. But all her siblings seemed to get along. I didn't really find out why until later. So Regans are a part of the lifestyle, aka swingers. Growing up this was really rough on Regan. Everybody in her small town knew and people made fun of her relentlessly. She hated it, but at the same time they were her parents. Well, when Regan was a senior her mom's videos were posted onto a website. Boys in her grade found them. Made her life hell. So she immediately went to a college far away, where we first met, and she really hasn't had a relationship with them. We live like 30 minutes from them and we see them only at Christmas. Her parents are always reaching out to her however. So I've been seen as the guy, isolating Regan from the family. So I come from a traditional family. Church on Sunday types. Regan fell in love with this. And really attached herself to my mom. They have gotten super close. Regan always talks about her liking my normal parents. So Regan decided to not invite her mom and dad to the wedding. She said she is embarrassed of them. And doesn't want people knowing who her mom is. She asked my dad to walk her down the aisle. Her siblings got pissed at this and she decided to cut them off as well and not invite them. Which caused Regan's mom to explode. She's called us so many times the last few months. And tried showing up at our place. I've had to tell her to leave every single time as Regan didn't want to. Which is leading to the imagine of me, isolating Regan. So this weekend Regan was at a bachelorette party. I was home alone. I hear someone at my door. I see it was Regan's mom and she looked emotional. I spoke through the doorbell and told her Regan wasn't home and she needed to leave. She kept knocking and saying, "I know she's in there, I just want to talk." I said she wasn't home and that she needed to leave. Well, she walked to her car parked on the driveway, and made a phone call. At this point my neighbor texted me and asked if everything was okay as he heard yelling. Regan's mom came back to the door and kept pounding on it, saying she wanted to talk to her daughter. I told her she had 1 minute to leave the property. She didn't, so I called the cops. She was arrested for trespassing. Regan came back and I told her what happened. She was upset at me but then understood once I showed her my neighbor's text and doorbell footage. Regan's siblings are pissed however. And so is her dad. I can't help but feel like I did go too far. Am I the asshole? Edit. For people asking. Regan basically ghosted her parents in college. She told her siblings why she didn't want a relationship. They didn't agree with her reasons and that is why she cut them off too. Her parents should be aware of the reasons through the siblings. Not the asshole. Her parents are certainly free to be swingers but it was very selfish not to think about how their lifestyle choices impacted their children. Regan is an adult and has made the decision not to have them involved in her life. Her mother was warned but ignored it. You are free to choose but choices have consequences. Not the asshole. But look at it from their perspective. I would think the same thing if my daughter cut me off. Regan needs to explain her feelings clearly to them as to why they aren't welcome on her life. Regan also likely needs therapy. Not the asshole. Jesus, your girlfriend has every right to not want to be around her parents. I can't even imagine how awkward and uncomfortable she felt when she was around them. And you have every right to call the cops on her mom. She was trespassing, apparently causing a scene, was warned that the police would be coming and she still stuck around until the police showed up. Not the asshole. Firstly, her mother had even got your neighbor involved. Regan wasn't there. You didn't have much of a choice. Secondly, all those complaining about slut-shaming. Small town, everyone knew, and then a video of her mother getting it got shared among the teenage boys. And she was a teenage girl, they already get hassled, she ran away. They know why, they just don't accept why. Not the asshole you told her she wasn't home. She wouldn't leave. Even the neighbors were disturbed. Not the asshole. Regan's family needs to get it through their heads that wanting a relationship with Regan does not entitle them to one, and that she's capable of deciding for herself how much, or how little, contact she wants with them. As it is, their utter lack of respect for boundaries just confirms there are better reasons for her wanting them out of her life than their lack of discretion with other partners. Am I the asshole for giving my nephew $1,000? My 17-year-old nephew got the short end of the stick in the sense that he's the oldest kid in his family and his mom and dad, my brother, force him to be his younger brother's caretaker. He really doesn't have anything of his own and has to share everything. This summer he wanted to get a summer job to make his own money and his parents punked him on it because they can't afford camp for the younger 4 kids. He was really upset over it. I'm just a single guy and do well financially. I asked him if he wanted to make me a cake and lasagna, he likes to cook, and I'd pay him. He did a pretty good job and I paid him $1,000. That's about a third of what he'd make working part-time in the summer. I was just looking for an excuse to give him money. $1,000 isn't a lot to me. Later, his parents told me I shouldn't give a 17-year-old $1,000 in cash and that was irresponsible. They asked me what he was going to buy and I said whatever he wanted. They asked me not to do it again because he'll expect that every time. They don't want him to able to be independent because they would lose their free babysitter when he turns 18. Thank you for all the awards and upvotes. Not the asshole. It's your money. You could take him to a bank and open a custodial account. It would be in his name, you would be the adult that controls it until he turns 18. That's a good way to help him manage money and escape the parentification. Not the asshole, you should hire him to be your new personal chef. Closing parenthesis. Make sure his parents don't steal that money. Not the asshole, but be wary of giving so much in cash. If he wants anything specific, give that instead. Not the asshole. Just in case, there is a list what 17-year-old can do with this money if they ever keep talking about why he got money. Save for a car, save for a uni, save for their own flat, save for traveling, save to start a business, buy new electronics, buy clothes, buy something hobby-related, plan going out with his friends for whole year, go to a concert or a festival, donate to his favorite charity, bath in money, use it as a toilet paper, have to use to warm up, just have it. Have a talk with his parents about the fact that parentification is child abuse, and preventing him from working could constitute financial abuse, especially when paired with trying to bully him into spending the money on their other children. Financial abuse and parentification combined. Offer the kid a place to live as soon as he turns 18.